Every single thing you're looking at right now is fake. No camera, no actor, no location. And the wild part is, most of this can run on hardware you already own. This month, image models and video models basically jumped a weight class. Flux 2 is cranking out agency-level images with the kind of control that makes brand people stop sweating. ChatGPT quietly turned into a full image lab inside the same chat box you use to write emails. Runway and Kling are pushing AI video that looks like somebody actually showed up with a crew and a Steadicam. And open models like Hunyuan and Wan 2.2 are catching up so fast it's getting hard to tell what's closed, what's local, and what's running on a single GPU under your desk. If you make content, ads, shorts, or you're just trying to move faster, this is the first month where "I'll just shoot it" is no longer the obvious answer. So in this video, I'm going to show you the models that quietly cross the line from cool demo to "you should probably be using this right now." What they can do, why it matters, and where to grab everything if you want to go full goblin mode on your own setup. Flux 2 is here and it's amazing. This is an image generator and editor, but the big trick is it can take up to 10 reference images and combine them into one scene while staying consistent. It's got exact color control too. You can call out a specific hex color, or tell it to match a color from a reference image, like changing gloves to match the exact color from image 2. There's also pose guidance, so you can lock a pose from a reference and keep that positioning across shots. And there's an extract and recompose workflow that pulls products out of a photo and rebuilds them into a clean collage. On the specs side, outputs go up to 4 megapixels, and inputs can be as small as 64 by 64, and it supports basically any aspect ratio. They also show different Flux 2 options, Dev, Pro, and Flex, depending on your hardware specs, so you can trade off quality and cost depending on what you're doing and if you need quantized versions or not. If you want the full workflow and setup, or a link to documentation, it's linked below, and I have a basic install and use guide on my channel you can check out, and even more in my Patreon. Kling 2.6 is out, and the big deal is it's not silent video first, audio later anymore. It's designed to generate the visuals and the sound in the same pass, so you can get voiceover, sound effects, and ambient audio baked into the clip right away. Here, take a look at this demo right now.
Hello? Hello? Is that my voice?
And I can even sing again.
They're calling this simultaneous audio-visual generation, and it works in two main ways. You can type a prompt for text to video, or you can start from an image and add a prompt for image to video. It supports both Chinese and English voice generation, and it's currently aimed at clips up to 10 seconds. Runway Gen 4.5 just dropped, and it's packing some really solid new features with standout quality. It can handle complex scenes, like that red bird balancing on a messy pile of dishes in a sunlit sink while the camera pans, and the frame doesn't turn into mush. It also does detailed compositions, like a goat trotting down the road pulling a little trailer with a polar bear trapped in ice, and the placement stays locked while everything moves. The physical accuracy is better too, like an underwater diver where he fires a rifle, and the bubbles and disturbed water feel believable. Characters look more expressive, like a tight close-up where you can actually read emotion in the eyes and micro-movements. And it can swing between photorealistic, like a moody close shot that feels like real footage, or non-photorealistic, like a stylized fox ripping a motorcycle through dust with full animated energy. Anyway, that's the Gen 4.5 vibe. Hunyuan released Hunyuan Video as an open-source video generator, which is kind of a big deal because it's not just AI that's behind a paywall. You can download and run it locally for free. The demos they show are very cinematic first, like that armored character in an urban shot where the lighting and texture feel more like real footage than smeary AI frames. Then you've got the high dynamics stuff, like a camera riding with a motorcycle vibe, where the motion stays fast and continuous instead of turning into jitter. It also does these continuous action sequences, like the cat creeping in on the burger and completing the whole little beat in one take, without resetting its pose every second. And it can lean into more directory, artistic shots too, like that moody portrait lighting that feels intentional instead of generic. They even show it handling weirder concepts, like a panda riding a bike through traffic, where the idea stays readable and grounded. Plus, there's a whole physical compliance angle, like the water ripple example, where tiny physics details look believable so it doesn't trigger that something's off feeling. And the best part is, if you hop over to their Hugging Face, you can follow the setup instructions to download either the full-size weights or the quantized versions and run it locally for free. All right, Wan 2.2 is one of those, wait, they actually open-sourced this? Drops. It's a big upgrade to their video diffusion models, and the core idea is a mixture of expert setup, where different experts handle different parts of the denoising process, so you get more model capacity without blowing up compute. The part that matters for real humans with real GPUs is the model lineup. They've got these big 14 billion MOE models, but they also open source a smaller 5 billion hybrid model that targets 720p at 24 frames per second, and they specifically call out that it can run on a consumer GPU like a 4090. If you're doing it through comfyui, their Wan 2.2 guide even says the 5 billion version should fit well on 8GB VRAM with Comfy's offloading, which is honestly pretty wild if it holds for your setup. If you want to know how to do this, check out the video I made and download the workflow from my Patreon. OpenAI just shipped updates that quietly change what you can do inside ChatGPT if you make content or work with anything technical. First, ChatGPT Images. Instead of bouncing between a prompt site and your browser, you can now generate and edit images directly in the same chat thread you're already using. You can upload a photo, tell it to swap the background, change the lighting, or push it into a totally different style, and it just updates the image right there in the conversation. You can also start from scratch with a text prompt, get multiple options, refine them like you would a normal chat, and everything gets saved into your library so you're not digging through random downloads later. OpenAI is pushing this as more photorealistic, cleaner text inside images, and better alignment with what you actually typed, so it behaves more like an art director than a guessing game.